Now, if you know you are or might be gluten intolerant, and you said something along the lines of, but the food tastes so much better with gluten, I'm not giving that up. If I'ma die happy. You know who you are. So in today's video, we're going to discuss gluten. I feel this video is long overdue, seeing how this channel is literally focused on me living my gluten-free lifestyle. This video will be broken into 3 main parts. I'm gonna start with explaining what gluten is, then I'll share some insight of how it affects me personally, and then I'll end with the difference between gluten-free and celiac disease, because no, they are not the same. And it's time we shed light on this subject for this channel. So let's get right into it. But before we get started, I want to mention that I am not a healthcare provider, and in no way, shape, or form should you ever just take my word for it without doing your own research for yourself. This video is for educational purposes only. If you feel you suffer from gluten issues, then I suggest you speak with your doctor and go through the proper channels to get properly diagnosed. Feel free to take notes from this video if you see fit and share them with your doctor if you like. But be your own advocate for your own health. Okay, glad we got that out the way. So the purpose of this video is to help those who are genuinely unsure about gluten and would like to know more information about it. I am not a healthcare professional, but I do struggle with gluten intolerance, so I feel that it's safe for me to talk about it because I literally live this lifestyle. And let me tell you, it is not for the weak, honey. Alright y'all, so I'm gonna do my best to explain as much as I can, starting with what gluten is. Okay, so the textbook definition is a substance present in cereal grains, especially wheat, that is responsible for the elastic texture of dough. It's a mixture of 2 proteins and it causes illness in people with celiac disease. More on that later. Gluten is basically a natural occurring protein that can be found in wheat plants and some other grains. It can also be extracted, concentrated, and added to food, drinks, and other products. It can be used to add protein, texture, and flavor. It's also used as a binding agent to help give certain foods their shape. Now, I learned about that in my early days of baking gluten-free with my walnut cookies. Now, most people generally associate gluten with bread, and that's pretty accurate, but oh sugar, that is only the beginning. Here's a list I found online that does a great job of showing which foods contain gluten. Feel free to pause the video to really give it a good look-see. Now for my fellow vegans out there, here's a list that does a great job of showing foods that gluten can be hidden in. Again, pause the video to view this chart in greater detail. And y'all please try not to get overwhelmed with all this. I know it can be a lot, and these charts are just for educational purposes only and should be used as a guide for you if you're on a journey to becoming gluten-free. So I hope this helps you, because who knows, you might want to make a special dinner for someone, or you probably have a restaurant and you're interested in having gluten-free options and you would like to know where to even start for foods that are safe to use and foods to avoid for cross-contamination issues. So I feel like these charts are a good place to start. Whatever the case may be, I hope you find these charts to be very helpful. Now, after viewing these charts, did you notice anything that caught you off guard? If so, comment below. I honestly didn't know about gluten until I was affected by it. I mean, with all the allergies that I already have, I just knew that I was safe from this one. I would always say, Lord, I know you wouldn't do this to me. You would not add gluten to the long list of allergies and foods that I cannot already have. Bruh. But honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because it challenged me into cooking gluten-free foods and understanding more about it, along with the struggles of it. And for those that don't already know, I have a passion for baking, so I was challenged to want to create food that was actually edible. Long story short, that's what led me to creating my own gluten-free and vegan dessert business called Opal's Paradise, so at least something good came out of it. So I touched base on the topic of me finding out how I was gluten intolerant in my vegan journey video. I'll be sure to link it in the description below. Be sure to check it out when you get a chance. Matter of fact, just watch it right after this video. I pour my heart into all these videos and your support means so much. But yeah, so I'll just share here what happens to me when I eat gluten. Bloating, cramps, and yes, I gotta go here, constipation. Please, Lord, help me to release this demon! Now, I have no idea how long I've been gluten intolerant, but I do remember as a kid that I always had trouble with going to the bathroom. I was definitely not regular, but that was my norm. And the doctors, they just told me that I needed more fiber, so I just figured that's all I needed. Me going vegan and taking time to really evaluate my health is what literally saved my life in that aspect. All those toxins remaining in your body is not healthy, y'all. So if you struggle from like severe constipation, like you're only going maybe every 2 to 3 days, and that's not a cause of another health issue that you already have, then I suggest you test to see if it's gluten related. And the easiest way to see if you have a gluten issue is to take it out of your diet. If you're vegan, I say to take it out of your diet for about a week. But if you're not vegan, then I say possibly 2 weeks. Now, this is not to punish the non-vegans. It's just there are other foods that cause inflammation as well. So if they're still a part of your diet, then I think you'll get the best out of this test with a slightly longer trial period. But that's just my opinion. Of course, do what's best for you. Now, at any point in your trial period, if you notice a significant change to how you feel after not having gluten, then it might be time for you to make that appointment with your doctor. Best of luck to you. Okay, now let's discuss the difference between gluten-free and celiac disease. Now, I personally do not struggle from celiac disease, but I understand that it is a different beast. We both live a gluten-free lifestyle, but the seriousness is on a whole other level. Like, for example, me, if I accidentally ingest gluten, then I'm basically just gonna have the symptoms that I mentioned before in the last section. But a person with celiac having gluten can be more serious and possibly cause them a hospital visit. And when it comes to my own business, I always let my customers know that my desserts are not celiac certified. And even though I use all gluten-free ingredients, I let them know to indulge at your own risk. That way I protect my business as well as their health. And if you suffer from celiac, my heart truly goes out to you. And I'm sending positive vibes your way, my friends. So let's get to the facts. The definition of celiac is an autoimmune condition that is caused by an abnormal immune response to gluten. Over time, the immune reaction to gluten will create inflammation, causing damage to the lining of the small intestine, which can lead to medical complications. And with a damaged small intestine, your body may not be able to absorb the nutrients it needs to function properly. The classic symptoms of celiac are diarrhea, bloating, gas, fatigue, low blood count, aka anemia, and osteoporosis. But it's also possible for people to not have any symptoms. My advice is to listen to your body and stop being so stubborn. If you know that gluten is an issue for you, then you need to do better. While the exact cause of celiac is unknown, there are other factors that have been linked to its activation. It can be genetic or environmental. And some examples of that can be post-surgery, pregnancy, childbirth, a viral infection, or severe emotional stress. So take care of yourself, you guys. Now, if you know you are or might be gluten intolerant, and you said something along the lines of, but the food tastes so much better with gluten, I'm not giving that up. If I'ma die happy. You know who you are. All I have to say is, we only get one body, so let's not waste it. Now, with all that being said, before I go, I want to leave you guys with, being gluten-free it's challenging, but it's not impossible. So if you struggle from it, I strongly recommend that you make changes to your diet now before you're forced into doing it. It's nothing like going cold turkey in something that you were not prepared for. It's a shock to the body, and I don't want that for you guys. So please take care of yourselves. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you found the content of this video to be very informative and helpful. If you did, please share my video because you never know who you could be helping. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So yeah, I'll just share here why is there a car that's just deciding it wants to rev you up the engine right now? Hurry up. It's just there are other foods that cause inflammation as well. I said that weird. Get my notes, but this is one. I personally do not struggle. What? Ow, my ankle popped right when I do that. So for the best, oh gosh, phone just